Okay. Hello, everybody. Give me just a second. Good thing that I didn't have Discord set to actually show what people are saying because we're not on Twitch right now, Salty. There are potentially people actually monitoring this. Um, yes, that was a little bit of shade to Twitch. Don't worry about it. Hello, everyone. It's it's been a minute. Uh, Unfortunately, due to various complications, um, Salty was unable to join us for a few weeks, and I didn't feel right uh, going on ahead without them. So that's all been fixed, and we're ready to return to Dethrone the Divine. Uh, our actual campaign being named The Hands That Thieve. Joining me today for this session, as with every session, are my good friends Nil,
What up?
Salty,
Hey, how's it going?
and Vern.
What's up, motherfuckers? Apparently, my dog wants to say hi too. God damn it.
Hmm. Uh, so, when last we left our little godlings, as I recall it, you all had finally found Fort Knox. But that wasn't all you found, was it?
There was a whole America down there.
What's left of it, at least. And how... What were your impressions of the United States some 100, 200 years past the end of the world?
They're doing their best.
Thoma's impressed. They've managed to live as well as they can for the times that they are. Also, to be noted, he has no idea what the United States are and why they united.
What a good job. What are states?
He probably would have had some time to ask questions about that. Would he have done so?
I mean, immediately when they walked away, he leaned over to Otto and went, "Can I have why?" I think he went, "What are the states and how do they unite?" And he went, "Okay, I'm gonna fix this right now."
Okay,
2
cool.
hours of history lessons.
Damn, only
Yeah,
2
he learned
hours?
it.
All right.
Well,
I
that's when he
talked
gave up,
really
probably,
fast.
because Thome is Thome doesn't take in history well.
I decided to stop when he started foaming at the mouth.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, yeah, more or less that's how that first bit went down. You have since allied yourselves, in a sense, with the United States of America, and I believe. What do you all remember of your last objective?
I remember we were making paths and going to and from the city that we left originally with people from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got really excited, and then a lot of them just ran off like children. And then a few of them died, which then the old lady showed up. Remember the old lady?
That was definitely one of the pivotal things that happened during last session near to the end of it.
Another thing, Ares found out we're working with the United States and got very, very, very upset. Him and Thome got into a conversation. It almost worked, and then Thome cut his arm off because they got into a fight.
Yeah.
Jesus.
2-second fight. The crowned god king sliced off the non-dominant arm of the Greek god of war.
Yep. And then he had he knocked him out. Then had his followers just take him back to the med bay.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't really have time to cover what went down on Otto's end of that whole situation. But we'll get there when we get there. So, Yeah, we pick up immediately following Ares being tracked away on a stretcher over to the med bay. Um, they take his arm as well, hoping that maybe it can be reattached. They don't really know how gods, even former gods, biology works. But his
Don't worry, I
followers,
got it.
or his ex-followers, would still do it nonetheless. Uh, for the first time during this whole conversational confrontation, President Foster speaks. I appreciate your intervention in this matter. I only hope that it doesn't cause further problems for you in the future.
He sighs.
Sorry, you go ahead.
Okay. He exhales, and turns the deep cold stare he had kind of slowly melts away. Do you have anything about his pantheon? Or do your people know anything about where Ares comes from?
Oh, certainly. We have books upon books about the Greco-Roman pantheon going back for centuries. Mind you,
I needed them all.
luckily for you, they all are sourced in one place. Come with me. Foster is going to take you down to his office and show you his computer. He will be kind of leaning over your shoulder to actually do the clicky clackies and actually show you everything. We don't have physical books. They would be too dangerous to bring down. But this library is just as vast as any you've seen before.
Oh, right, your magic one.
More or less. And he is going to help walk you through each and every chapter up to a certain point, which we will get to. We'll get to that point. In the meantime, Otto, among your various, reinforcements and repairs of the different systems around Fort Knox, your applications of the different supplies you've managed to procure from the cities, you discover something unusual.
Mm-hmm.
So while you guys have been working topside to make sure everything up top for Fort Knox is still functioning, the people down below, the people of the United States, they haven't been sitting idle. Some of them have been helping you out with your own stuff, of course, but an ongoing operation downstairs has been, for months, has been to expand the tunnels below. The more space they have down below, the more people they can, the more children they can have. And the greater their numbers, the higher their advantage upstairs, if and when they retake the surface. This has been an ongoing operation for years and years, but they haven't really had much in the way of tools for it. That's why they started domesticating moles. Moles are able to dig a lot faster and a lot more thoroughly than the people can with their hands. The people still dig with their hands, to be clear, but they take a lot of breaks. They need to be very careful with cleaning so they don't contract infections. And they used to use shovels and stuff, but of course, those broke a long time ago. With new supplies, with the excess metals that you guys don't really need, the scrap metal that's not was left behind from forgery and stuff like that, they've been able to craft rudimentary digging tools and make a lot more progress over the last week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, I had a name for this person actually. Hang on. Where did I put that? Where did I put it? Okay, yeah. The digging officer, Wilbur Levin, stops by during one of your while you're overseeing the construction and reconstruction of the walls around the keep, and kind of coughs. He's sort of a scrawny, gangly sort of guy, but he understands the structure of a tunnel better than anyone. And he's the main caretaker of the moles as well, which helps. He sort of coughs and raises a hand. Excuse me, Dr. Sinclair, would you mind speaking for a moment?
Of course. And I'll put down what I was working on and walk over with my hands behind my back. I don't have a cane anymore.
Right. We've uncovered a structural integrity concern that I wasn't expecting to see for another few miles of digging. Would you mind coming down with me? I could use an extra pair of eyes.
Very well.
Yeah, so he brings you down to the dig site. It's not very far. It's like right next to the farming areas. That's kind of the main priority for expansion, is to get more farming space because they need more food to house more people.
Yes.
And obviously they use groundwater for their farming. They were expecting to find more groundwater at a level maybe like a tiny bit above what they were finding before. But as you approach the wall in question, this is not a tiny bit. There is leaking coming from the roof above, like the proverbial ceiling of their dig site. And as well as the wall just before it. Mr. Levin continues once you arrive, gesturing to the cracks and such. We made sure to stop. We make sure to stop at many intervals to check for exactly this sort of situation. The trouble that I'm finding is there's not really a geographical explanation for there to be water so high above. We're nowhere near a lake or any other such body. And this deep underground, I don't know. It's, to be frank, it's got me nervous.
And say how far down are we? Like
Ooh. Crap. Crap, I wish I'd put that down in my notes. I would estimate. Hang on. Let me get some numbers real quick. I will say. We'll say that it's about like 200 feet below ground level.
Okay. 2 feet. Okay.
But yeah, they are very far from any surface body of water. And you don't recall seeing any odd formations of the like. The most logical explanation is that there's another level of groundwater, a little above where they were expecting to find it. But that doesn't necessarily click with your understanding of the way the Earth forms such things.
Yeah, okay. I'm just like, could it possibly be like a cave system?
That
I don't know.
would make more sense, actually. If there was an underground cave system that was naturally dug out over the course of maybe a few centuries, that sort of thing would require water. And there are some rivers nearby that it would make sense for that to have emerged.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely been enough time for it. Honestly, it's probably for the best that they caught this at the time that they did.
Mm-hmm.
If it had gone any longer, there could have been a flood. Mind
Yeah,
you, there could be a flood
Water's-
anyway, given the way that this leak is showing.
yeah, the water's not good unless it's filtered out properly. Okay. Well, my theory, from the looks of it and how deep down we are, could be a possible cave system.
Yes. I suppose that would make sense, but I don't know. With the way that things have been looking lately, forgive us, but we've grown to be a little suspicious of anything natural. Before he can finish his sentence,
Oh,
cracks spawn from the various leaking points along the walls, and then move further and further. Both of you turn your heads and watch in horror as they begin to meet. The other workers are already beginning to panic. They drop their rudimentary tools and run before the wall bursts.
I reach into my pocket and I click my watch.
Okay, what are you building?
I'm going to take a look at what's breaking through it and like how much water there is.
There is, let's see, given how much time, yeah, there is a lot of water. Whatever river had begun to run through clearly didn't drain, but you can imagine that its levels had gone down at least an inch since the cracks that eventually resulted in this cave system formed. You are looking at maybe about 100 gallons. Not enough
Okay.
to flood the overall cave system that is under Fort Knox, but enough to ruin any crops that this system is next to, thereby starving the inhabitants. And
Yeah.
in the worst case scenario, it could rot away support beams, causing a cave-in.
Yeah, that's not good. All right. Secondary question: how much like scrap did we pull from the town or from the city? Because from our trips.
You pulled...
Because right now, if I make a giant fucking container and and put the filter thing that we've developed in it, it would be kind of fun to have.
So as I recall, you guys actually did really well on the scavenging part of the checks from last session. So you definitely have enough supplies to do something like that. Do you have any other questions for me before you begin work on this?
No, not really. If I'm able to take what scrap we've found and make a large enough container for it. And I could make it where it does have filtration possible, and kind of like a faucet almost, and we could use it. But
Okay.
that's a lot of water.
It is. Fuck. How do I word this? I am going to ask you a question before this
Yes.
goes in. How do you think this cave system was formed?
I could imagine natural corrosion, but
And who controls nature?
oh shit. Okay.
Getting at the heart of the problem now. You don't see anything in the water flowing past. Not at the moment. But you stopped time at the moment that this wall burst.
Okay, yeah, you're right. As much as I would like to have a good resource of water for these guys, there's a bigger issue at hand now. God, these guys suck. All right. Okay, then with a good enough scrap, with all that scrap, so I got it right as it broke. So with enough scrap, do you think I could possibly make a thick enough wall to put kind of just stop it in its tracks?
You definitely can. It obviously would require a roll, but you are skilled enough to make that happen, provided you roll well enough.
Mhm.
I would say that the stakes are, if you fail, you don't finish the wall in time. And all of the things that I already said could happen will, and in addition, you might end up facing an encounter right here, right now.
No, brother. Okay.
If you succeed, then obviously you stop the onrush of water, you stop whatever enemy will be approaching, be it risen, be it a god, be it whatever they send to your way. For the moment. It's basically just buying yourself time. But, depending how high you roll, you could buy yourself a lot of time.
All right. Yeah, I'm good with this idea if I'm able to do it.
Okay? Go ahead and give me a roll plus your divine die. That would be
9
skill.
dice plus divine. Good God.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, okay. Okay. And since okay. All right. So I got five, six successes, including divine.
That is a boost. Okay. So, for this specific instance, I'm going to take control of your boost, if that's okay.
Go for it.
You grab what masonry and cement you guys were already melting down from the different buildings that you had taken whatever you could from. and drag it down here, laying down and basically doing the whole labor yourself. The trick, and this was why the DC was fairly high compared to some of your others, was whether you bought yourself enough time with this stopwatch, how fast you could work. Turns out, you can work pretty fast. You manage to kind of you manage to position the wall in exactly the correct space where it'll be able to hold the pressure of the oncoming waves, and balance it against the dirt so that it doesn't cause more issues immediately. The biggest problem is going to be the water eroding the dirt on either side of its current position, rather than the wall that you just built. That thing is reinforced, it is sturdy. As you are moving all of this around, though, because you wouldn't have had this knowledge before today, but because you have since seen the remnants of the one who weeps when her influence has been removed from them, the sheer essence of her magic without her presence, you are able to recognize her presence in these waters. You don't know if she's here personally, but she is the one who orchestrated this attack, for certain. So she might have orchestrated more. You finish up the wall about 20 minutes before the stopwatch clicks back in, and everyone hears the of the cascading water up against this newfound stone wall. The various workers turn back and pant, but stare in awe at the just snap abilities of a man-made god.
Otto is leaning against the wall. His metal skin is steaming from just how fast that he had to move to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he lets out a sigh, it sounds like a sigh, but smoke puffs out. No, they never give up, do they?
We cut from that pose to a scene the audience has been itching to see for a second. Nasa,
Yeah.
I think it is only appropriate for us to cut to your scene with an attack roll from you based in grace.
Wait then.
Alrighty then. Let me see what my grace is. It's 7, I think. It's 7. Okay. Can I throw in my flash step for an extra dice and a revenge potentially for just one of those maybe to give me an extra dice?
I would say your flash stat, if you're going to be doing both of them, I would say you could get an additional standard die, and you're definitely going to get a divine die on top of that for the revenge trait.
Okay, so 8 dice plus my divine dice. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, do not fuck me on this. Okay, that's not good. What's a pass?
I believe.
I thought it was.
Sorry.
A following made it higher, I thought. Or not lower. I'm at lower.
Yeah, so. I believe your following is at 3 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so success is from 4 through 6.
4 through 6. Okay. Ooh, this is good. Okay. And then the divine dice is okay. What the fuck do you have open? Stop eating random shit off the floor. Fuck. All right. Okay. So I lunge at her with 3 successes and a success on the divine die.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Wait, the
So,
divine die of 4 is a success, right?
with every dice right now, the 4 is a
Oh, okay,
success.
cool. Never mind. Just
Um,
checking.
so, we cut back to Nasa swinging her scythe at Virix. And the aged one attempts to sink into the overgrown, frozen ground beneath her, but moves just a tad too short. Nasa, you lop off Virix's head. This is a boost. What else
I was gonna say she's not fucking
happens?
dead yet.
Of course she's not. But what else happens?
Oh fuck. Okay. So I lob off her head, and then I reach out, grab her body, and yeet it up into the sky as high as possible, and then bolt after it.
Okay.
Get her away from the ground.
You toss her up into the air and leap after your target.
Mm-hmm.
The head down below you, we watch, we can see in the background as we're following you. The head from below you dissolves, and her body grows a new head. This head, by the way, far younger than the aged body around it. The face of
Yeah, I figured.
the blue-haired, young, pale face of a snowy maiden grows in its place. And she is smiling happily. Impressive! You've taken me from my new domain! But surely you didn't think that was my original domain. She raises her arms and you feel your winds moving in a circle around her. But they're not the same. They're colder, more menacing. As snow and ice begin to solidify within the range. You direct the winds, and I admire you for that. But the cold will always have its say, as she throws her arms in front of her. Let's see. I think that's how I want to work this. Let me roll something real quick. Okay. Okay. That's so a little more. Gotcha. What would be a good defense for this? Oh, I forgot about that one. Ooh. Why not? She's hitting you with spirit. You go ahead and roll spirit as a defense. Let's
Good
make
thing
it
I
full
just
magic.
upgraded my spirit.
This is also, both of you are using your divine dice for this. She is manipulating cold delivered by wind. You are manipulating the wind itself.
Okay, so she's manipulating stuff in the wind, not the actual wind itself.
She is manipulating the wind itself, but it's a... How do I put this? The elements have elements to them. They are not all like homogeneous bodies. Your winds are... They try to be universal, but in that universality, you lose power over the specifics. She controls the frigid frost winds, the winds of winter, the things that overtake towns and decimate support structures. You
Oddly
control.
specific.
It's sort of like you can make a hurricane, she can make a snowstorm.
Okay. Maybe I should throw a fucking hurricane at her.
Give it a shot. But first, you have to withstand her blow.
So, yeah, I rolled 4 successes plus my divine dice, so that's 5.
Holy shit! She
Fuck
rolled
this
the
bitch.
exact same thing.
Yeah.
So
We just fucking flash off each other.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sick.
in the skies, miles away and above Fort Knox, you both throw out your hands, and your whirling storm clashes with hers. You feel something ancient but familiar in the touch of her magic against yours. It's almost like
Fuck.
you know well what it is like to hate something, to hate someone, to want them to suffer, to need justice to be done in their suffering.
Slowly looks at Mizora, whatever her fucking name is.
No, her name is Minora. Virix was born by that feeling. In a similar way to what you were. Although, just in this class of emotions, she seems to have left that behind. You pull apart from each other and fall back to Earth, but it's a slow descent, which I assume includes several clashes to come.
Oh, definitely. I'm fucking flying at her from all directions.
Okay.
There's a storm brewing above.
Yeah. How do you want to rule this attack? As grace or as spirit?
I'm gonna dive at her, basically. So, with my scythe.
So, grace. Go ahead and give it a shot.
Can I use my flush step again? Or my seeking revenge?
Yeah, I mean, seeking revenge is kind of universal here. I feel like that you're just going to have your divine die every time you try to attack her. Not necessarily every time you defend. That's a different story.
Okay.
Let's see. She's not really in a position to dodge this.
Oh, that's not very good. That's not very good at all. Brother, I will fucking throw you. I swear to God. No. Oh,
Okay.
this isn't good. This isn't good at all. Okay,
No, I don't think she would have
2 successes and then a success on the divine die.
Okay. That's another boost.
That's not very good. Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Because she doesn't manipulate the wind as, like, on its own, just like the universality, she has less options with it. She is stronger in what she can do, but she doesn't have your versatility. She can't dodge this in the air.
I'm gonna ride the fucking lightning across her goddamn face.
So rather than dodging, she aims to block. She raises up her arms, trying to solidify them with ice. But you come at her swinging once, twice, three times, just zipping back and forth through the air. uh, and in your swing, you manage to. Nah, I'll just go with it. You make this like drive by with your scythe and just cut off the lower half of her torso down from the hip below.
God damn.
And this is a boost, so what other bonus do you incur?
What else do I do? Ooh, okay. So I just lobbed off her lower half.
From the hip below, from like the top of the hip down, yeah.
Okay. Since I cut it off, like as she's separating, I'm going to reach down and grab one of her now stray legs, pull it back, and fucking hit her like a baseball bat with it to send her flying.
Okay.
Trying to get her farther away from Fort Knox.
Okay, that was the question I was going to ask. You swing and bat her flying away from Fort Knox, and you feel the legs dissolve as new ones form below her waist. These ones, once again, kind of abandoning the plant-based, aged form of her torso and taking on the young signs of a much more beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you charge after her therein.
Oh yeah, like the clouds almost solidify under my feet as I, or is it horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal is the side to side.
Yeah, so just horizontal, like from this point, just that way is like there's like a boom of of sound as she breaks the sound barrier going after her.
You got it. You shoot off in her direction. And think, yeah, this is when. You find her, like, as you meet her point within, like, seconds, we get this, like, slow motion bit of you passing inches from her face. The smile still stretched across it, as her hands are now outstretched below you, or your perspective below you.
I'll remind you, I can't see her face.
Well, yeah, but the audience can.
Well, yeah.
And
yeah,
you still
fair
know
enough.
the energy of Virix's smile. You know this wouldn't be enough to break it. Okay. You can feel the winds that are propelling you begin to slow and weaken.
No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Don't touch my fucking sky.
In this sort of slow-mo state, Virix cackles like the hag she is. You thought you were the first to soar the skies? You really thought you dodged my notice? Just because you were floating a few feet above the ground? I have known the wind for millennia. I didn't take it as a domain because I had too much respect for it. You chose to defile it. And you will fall, like everyone else that thought they could touch the sky.
You
You
bring her side so angrily.
You are threatening to fall to the ground. I'm gonna need you to roll spirit just to regain control of what you own.
Okay. I'm about to call the moon for help, like, motherfucker, help.
The moon
Help.
can't work with the wind. It works
I
with the
know, but I
sea.
can still ask you to help.
You could ask. It can't do shit.
Yeah, I know. Shit. Okay. Let's see. Roll spirit, right?
Yep. You will use
Do
your
I get a
divine
divine
dice for
dice
this,
with
yes.
this?
Yes.
Okay. Can I use anything else with this?
No.
Fuck. 2, 4, 6. The burp was necessary, yes.
Hmm.
Alright. 6. Yep, that's 6. And my divine dice. Come on. So I'm falling out of the sky. I have 1 success. And it's not my
You
divine dice.
you are indeed falling out of the sky. I think I'm also going to add. Yeah, you're going to take 2 points of resolve damage from this, just from the fact that she was able to mitigate, even to some extent, your ability to control your own domain.
Dude, that scares her genuinely.
Yeah,
She's like, oh my god.
it should. You plummet to the earth. Yeah, there's no dodging descent. Go ahead and roll might to see how well you can endure
Can I roll?
the fall.
I can't, like, use grace to try and, like, break my fall or something?
Not from this height.
Fuck me. Alright, well, there's no way I'm gonna pass that DC. I want you to know that. Also, resolve is calculated with spirit or skill and
Skill
aura?
and aura.
Okay. Okay, so it's actually 1 more. Skill. Oh, that's right. I rolled it up last time because I wanted to use aura for more shit. That's actually 5, not a 4. So I'm at 5 resolve right now. Alright. So I'm gonna roll a singular dice right now.
Okay.
It's a success.
Okay, that's good.
It's 1 dice, but it's a success.
So the good news is that we don't operate by D&D rules. Fall damage doesn't actually hurt as much as it would for a mortal. You're still falling like a good, at least a mile, but that's not as bad for a god as it is for a mortal being.
Yeah.
You are gonna take 2 damage from this fall.
8, 7, 6. I'm at 6 HP.
Mm-hmm. So you have just fallen from your domain back into that of the Virix you know.
Mm-hmm.
She is immediately charging down towards you.
I'm so fucked right now.
Running is a valid option.
Am I too far from my communicator to work? I did launch her. Kind of not at Fort Knox anymore.
Otto, are you present right now?
Yes.
What range do you think those communicators would have had?
Honestly, I would say probably just due to how kind of lackluster technology can be at this state. Probably at most city-wide, but
Okay,
because we didn't have that
citywide would
fight
cover
in
several miles, like many
Yeah.
miles.
Yeah.
So
because we had the fight in the city, and that was a lot of distance going on in there.
So, you're definitely within range. So if you want to try and say something to your comrades, you can do so.
So, okay, in that case, so she hits the ground, bounces off it, coughs some blood, looks like she can't see. She doesn't have the wind. She can't see at all.
So your winds were not completely taken away. They were mitigated. They were slowed.
Okay.
You have vision. It's just blurry.
Okay, so I can feel her coming towards me still.
Yes. Even in this like sort of dim situation, you can feel the winds parting with her presence, and it's fast.
Mhm. Okay, she's going to put her hand to her communicator and quickly get to her feet to start running. And say, Dome, Otto, I could really use some help up top.
Thome, you were just getting a crash course on history of Ares. I would say that, given like the way time is working in my head, you probably would have had about an hour to learn like the histories of how Ares operates. He was not viewed well by his own pantheon. He was kind of thought of as the lesser of two war gods, except for in a very egalitarian state, actually, Sparta. So you've got a lot of good info on Ares and like how, you know, he represented the more ugly side of war, but also how his state, his city-state, was ironically more virtuous than the states that touted virtues above him. And that's like largely the overview you get of Ares before you get this message. Otto, you have just finished constructing that wall when you get this message.
Oh,
Who responds first?
I would say Thome.
Yeah, probably. Thome probably like immediately like jumps up. Doesn't say anything to the president because I'm not thinking about his comfortability right now.
Mhm.
It begins bolting towards the door, and when I say bolting, I mean not like human speed, God speed.
Yeah, I figured.
And he just yells, "Where?" All I got was up top. I'll go up. I'm gonna go, but she did throw the lady
Alright.
like a mile. So
Yeah, whichever direction she yeeted Virix in, she's like, she says like whether it's like a few
You
miles
tell them
north, south, or
which
east.
direction and where. You have a very good
Yeah.
understanding of coordinates, so it should be fine. Yeah, you give Thome directions.
She's going to throw in one more thing.
Mhm.
She can manipulate the wind. I've been grounded. And then that's where she's gonna turn her focus back to Virix.
Just in time for Virix to how would she collide? Honestly, yeah, she's cocky.
This bitch.
So you can either roll to block this or dodge this. Knowing your skills, I recommend dodging. Okay.
5, 6. Can I use my flash step to try and dodge?
Sure, why not?
2, 4, 6. And am I using my spirit or my grace? Probably my grace, right?
It would be your
7,
grace, yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8. And then divine dice, yes or no?
Your flash step is involved, so we'll say that's the divine.
Sweet. Okay. Holy shit, that's a lot of big numbers. Okay, this is success on the divine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah.
7, including the divine dice. So 6 successes and then a success on the divine dice.
Cool. Okay. So you turn. Now she is bolting to you like a bullet. But even in your blurred state, your reaction time is faster. You are in a situation where you know for a fact you're going to be able to dodge. But you have enough time to add something to the mix. What is it?
Okay. Can I also do an attack? Because it was my grace?
Depends what kind of attack you're looking for. Are you trying to slice her with your scythe at this speed?
I was thinking that... So she's coming at me, right?
Yes.
I'm faster.
Mhm.
I turn around, I pivot on my foot, press my other foot to a tree, and lunge at her to meet her. Because, like, listen, I don't have to use the wind all the time to fight.
Yeah.
I just like
the wind is only one part of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would say that she is starting to spark a bit.
Okay.
She's gonna have to stop relying on the wind.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. How many successes did you say you got? Was it like 6 including divine?
So 6 successes, and then also a success on the divine dice. So in total 7.
Okay. So I'm gonna knock off the divine dice success because that is giving you the option for this attack. But the rest is gonna go in. They're gonna cancel each other out.
Yeah.
You pivot, place a foot on the tree trunk, and thunder cracks as you dash towards her, and for the first time you feel that energy of glee in the fight fade. As your scythe made of clouds shifts to... Rather, it doesn't shift so much as condenses into a thin, sparking pole with this sheer energy in the form of the blade crackling out as you slash across Virix's entire form, bisecting her. The crackling energy singes the tree trunk and her form as she flows apart for a second. And then each of the pieces that was just cut freezes over and crash back together. Every part of the form she currently has shatters and rebuilds itself in the air. as you skid to a stop and turn around to observe. You feel your winds flowing naturally again, as she refocuses to put all of her power into maintaining herself. You just dealt 4 damage.
Sweet.
Yeah, baby.
You know what? I don't even want to give her an opportunity to finish reforming. Can I perform my newest ability that I've gotten?
Which one is that again?
I haven't nailed down a name for it. I was debating between call the sky or bring down the sky, and basically it's just an AOE attack of lightning.
Okay.
Probably call the sky. I think that's better.
What do you think of Skyfall?
Oh, ooh, yeah, I like that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So as she's reforming,
Mhm.
if I may,
Go for it.
Neta holds her lightning bolt aloft as she walks towards her. Did you think you would get the upper hand by simply taking my winds from me? Did you forget it's not just the winds I command, Virix, as thunder cracks behind her and the clouds begin to come in and darkening? I'm the god of the sky, fool.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and roll spirit.
Alrighty, baby. Don't mind me, I'm out here farming aura. Alright. Okay, spirit is a 6. Can I throw in my seeking revenge
Of course.
and my divine dice?
Well, so your divine. Okay. I may not have. Well, actually, no. Yeah. We'll add an extra die for seeking revenge plus the divine since you're pulling out an extra move.
2,
I've been considering
6,
your seeking
7.
revenge to be a universal. Like, yeah, you're adding a divine dice to everything.
Oh.
But
Well,
you're taking you're using a special
not,
as
I
well.
thought the divine dice was more towards my domain, not what my traits are. My traits is seeking revenge and outspoken.
So divine dice works with traits, it works with domains, it works with your special moves, it works with a lot of things. There are a lot of situations in which your divine dice is applicable. That's kind of by design, as far as I can tell from the game.
Okay.
There are some situations in which, like, stacking traits and stacking domains and stuff, I will allow for extra dice on that, such as this. But just know that there are also other situations where that wouldn't apply.
Okay. So 4 successes plus my divine dice, so that's 5.
Okay.
I'm basically calling down a lightning storm on her.
Yeah, I think she's
It's like a big AoE move, so that way she can't
opportunity
run from it.
to at least endure some of this. Probably take
Oh,
these.
Skyfall, that's so fucking metal.
I'll
Fucking metal as fuck, dude.
these and reduce by half. So 5. Okay, so 2 more of these. Actually, wait, no, that's wrong. Okay. Damn. Okay. The thing that's being reduced. You said 5?
5 in total. That's including the divine dice. So it's
Okay.
4 plus the divine dice.
Okay. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, no, this makes more sense. You bring down the sky. As lightning shoots down towards the sort of geode that is Virix reforming, just in time for Thome carrying Otto, probably, because I don't think Audio can run that fast.
Well, actually, because
He got really
Otto
legs.
is probably trying to make sure everything is still good down here because
Oh, so he's
if
not
this
going to come up to
happened
join?
before, well, not for now,
Okay.
but right now he's looking. He's ordering very sternly for everyone to report any leaks that are visible right at this moment.
Okay, yeah. So you go ahead and give me an aura roll real quick, Otto, while I describe this scene. Actually, Thome, you have your steed. That's right. You're coming on the back of. I feel so shitty that I forgot the.
Isn't Elenia?
Elena?
Oh,
Elena?
no.
Something.
Elenia.
Elenia.
I
Okay.
was right.
Cool. You arrive on the back of Elenia. Otto, what's your aura roll? I think I heard you finish.
Let me look, see if there's anything
Okay.
that would add to that. Nope, nothing. So 3 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah, you are giving those orders. At first, there's not like much of a response, but with Levin's help and like eventually other officers start passing the word along, and people start actively searching throughout the walls to make sure there are no leaks. Otto, you arrive on the back of Elenia to see Nasa calling down the thunder on this, what is essentially this like oddly disfigured gemstone that like coils and recoils in the shock of the blast before it bursts, sending out a wave of cold that has you, your steed, and Nasa skidding backwards as like this kind of sub-zero temperature wave emerges. You have your sword. You are able to block any magical strikes from this. And Nasa, at this point, you've been overcharged to such a degree that the cold doesn't actually damage you. But you are very glad that you took care of this away from Fort Knox, because these temperatures would have frozen any normal human solid.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Virix speaks in an older, darker tone than you've ever heard from her. And you've heard some damn old tones from this woman.
That's the old lady.
I have a thing for this.
Yo.
Okay, sick. Where?
Mom's got a thing for us. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Oh my god.
She cackles as the winds emerge. Yes! This is what I breathe for! Can you feel it, Nasa? Your heart burning, the struggle within. The fear within me is beyond anything your soul can make. You cannot kill me in a way that matters! She reforms in a state somewhere between the maiden you have seen recently and the old woman of plants that you have grown to know.
Okay.
Somewhere of like a 40s to 50s aged like woman, made entirely of ice but wreathed in God, a kind of like a thistle with cherries or cherry-like fruits popped around it.
Oh, pretty.
As she stands before the both of you. Welcome to the carnage, God King. Allow me to reintroduce myself to you both. My name is Frau Holly, Mother of the Frost.
Motherfucker.
Fucking fool.
Frost Grandma, no.
And as she bows, she says, "And this is my sister Minora. I'm gonna need both of you to roll to either block or dodge an incoming wave."
Motherfucker.
No.
You thought that I was gonna throw these guys one at a time at you?
No,
I-
but fuck! Not her!
They
Anything
orchestrated
but
an attack
her!
on the basement. We should have known.
I have
They
a
were
Bane
both
against
here.
Minora.
That's
How do
true.
I use that?
I'm gonna say that that's just like active while you are fighting her specifically. So that's just gonna add an extra dice.
I used my
And unlike
ability.
the more generic revenge state, you just get this bonus when you're in combat. Unfortunately, Thome, you currently have a bond with Minora, don't you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You are going to get a
Ooh.
permanent -1 to every roll against her, including this
Like
block.
-1 dice or -1 successes.
-1 die.
Oh, thank God, that's so much better.
Okay, so
Everything I say comes
I'm
in the form
using-
of dice, not successes or
Yep.
failures.
I want to make sure.
okay, so questions. I have many questions right now.
What's
I have a
up?
lot of dice to roll.
That
Mhm.
makes sense.
So I'm going to use Grace to try and dodge.
Yeah.
To like get up above the water or to like get around it or something. So I get the +1 from fighting weeps, right?
Yes.
Can I also throw in the another dice for flash step? I'm using the lightning to
Sure.
move instead of clouds now.
Right.
That's why it's called flash step. Is because I can use more than my clouds.
Sure, why not? Let's go for it.
All right, and then divine dice.
Hmm.
Come on, let me roll 10 dice. Let me roll 10 dice. Let's go.
You know what?
You want to do it so bad.
Sure. Go ahead.
All right, I want to block it. So,
Oh, crap, did I just make
can
a
I
dice? I did.
use
so-
my special trait, my battle sense, which warns me of danger?
Six.
Yeah, actually.
There's a wave coming.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Do I get a die for my neat stick, my sword?
Yes.
I'm
You
going
do.
to. Okay, awesome. And divine, because battle. Okay,
Success,
8,
success,
9,
success.
11, 3, 6, 9. Cool. I don't get that one because I got a -1. Cool. I'm rolling a lot right now.
Alright, so I've got 5 successes plus my divine dice, so 6 successes.
All right, keep that number in your head. I'm still counting.
Yep. Fuck. I didn't think I'd have to fight her yet.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled. No, I rolled. Yeah, I rolled really good. 4s are successes.
4s are successes.
Yep.
That's the only thing saving my ass right now. Most of my rolls have been fucking 4s. Screaming.
Yeah, aren't those successes?
Well, that's why she's like it was almost a failure. So you said 6 successes from you, Nasa. Did one of those include divine?
Yeah.
Okay. Thome, what did you get?
The exact same thing.
Okay.
Sweet.
The two of you barely managed to avoid taking this hit. Thome, you slide off Elenia's saddle and drive your sword into the ground to project this like area of anti-magic that just pushes the waves around you, thereby
I want to
saving
add that
your horse. Hmm?
There's a thunderclap when Nasa uses her flash step this
Yeah,
time.
you just snap up into the air as a torrent of water passes over the both of you. Virix calmly rising above it, creating like this frigid platform around herself to allow the rest to move freely. I need no introduction, sister. Both of them know me well. You
What?
see the massive form of the one who weeps. This woman towers over you at this moment. So when you had your first conversation with the newest rendition of her, she was shorter than you. But at this exact moment, she towers over you. She's basically twice your height. As water just drains from her eyes.
He looks probably to like confusing Nasa, genuinely hurt, like emotionally. And stares at Minora.
Now then, shall we dispose of these miscreants together? I would have it no other way.
Minora, you can't be serious.
I gave you a warning, Thome. You should have heeded it.
I thought we could talk more about this. Another reunion or something. This isn't how things should be.
This is why you are a god of battle and not war. You were always too naive. She raises her fingers up underneath Thome. She is about to make a spirit attack against specifically you. Now this is magic, so your sword is going to help you block it. While she's doing this, Nasa, what are you doing?
Thome has met with Minora and spoken to her since he's been up here and didn't say anything to us. We're gonna have to put that aside for now. I have revenge to seek. My destiny is like in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, she's
So I just finished rolling Minora's attack. Thome, what's your defense?
I didn't even roll it, to be honest. Things were being said. Is this do I have to use spirit?
It's a magical attack, so because of your sword, you can block with might.
Oh, okay. I'm not. All right, this is fine. Pretend we have confidence, kids. That's how you get through life. All right, that's 6, 7, 8. The magic sword's allowing me to do this, so I don't get it. Battle sense because it's a surprise attack from below me.
Mm-hmm.
And divine die.
Oh, and take away one because it's weeps.
Motherfucker, you're
That's right.
Well, less than last time, but that's
You're
fine.
being friends with the fucking enemy.
Ooh, she's my kin. We'll talk about that later.
No, we're gonna talk about it, alright.
Oh, that's a good
Goodbye, Otto.
Otto's not even here right now.
I thought you said Otto was on the back of Elenia with Thome.
No.
No.
Then Otto corrected me, saying he would have stayed behind to coordinate the things down below to make sure they're not further assaulted. For all he knows,
that makes
Weeps
me
is
feel
down
a lot
there.
less stressed out.
I got 7 successes with a success on the divine die.
Okay. So that's a boost. Not only do you avoid the attack, but you can do something in addition. What do you do?
So as the ground below him begins shaking, he closes his eyes, and she's probably seen him get like this once or twice back in the old Gaian pantheon, where he closes his eyes and sighs. I guess there is no use for honor right now, is there? And he sighs as the sword isn't dramatically placed. He lightly just lets his arm fall as it taps the ground. All of her water that was coming out, gone. As he looks up at her, as the crown on his head becomes full, and he stares at her. Well, it's a king's job to punish his subjects, isn't it?
Whoa! Okay. Yeah, she's gonna take a hit to resolve for that. Yeah. Minora blinks and starts shaking. Nasa, you're already in position to attack.
I'm coming at her.
We making this spirit or a grace?
Okay. Damn, that's like crazy. So I am crackling with energy as I get into position, and I'm going to attempt to strike her from the side, Minora specifically.
Okay.
Virix, listen, honey, you are not even a fucking priority anymore. Minora's in front of me. I'm fucking killing her. She put me at the bottom of the fucking ocean for over a century. I'm killing this bitch.
Yep.
And I'm gonna start powering up my god move for later.
Okay.
Okay, so 7 for Grace, 1 for Weeps, 1 for either Flash Step or Taking Revenge. Unless I can do both.
I would
and then
say
Divine
just
Dice.
Seeking Revenge in this instance.
Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7 for Grace, 1 for my Bane, 1 for my Seeking Revenge, 1 for my Divine Dice.
Mm.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7.
Also, to make sure that I am understanding Thome's mentality right now, does he still value Minora at this stage?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Bond remains.
He's currently viewing her as like a when your younger sibling misbehaves, you slap him upside the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Oh, wait, did I okay, no, that's right. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, and then a success on the Divine Dice.
5 successes, success on Divine?
Yeah.
Okay. That
So 4 failures.
That is gonna be a boost for you.
Who's coming out from the side with a lightning bolt.
Okay. Yeah. I think that makes sense. So, oh shit, wait. Oh, yeah, sick. While this is going on, Otto, I want you to roll me a skill check. Add in your divine dice as well. This is technology based. I'll get into why in a bit.
I'm muted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nasa, as Thome is like bringing up this threatening presence, distracting Minora, you crash down beside her and swing your crackling scythe. Minora, blinks again, raises her arm to block it, and is surprisingly a lot denser than you were expecting. You were expecting to slice her in half, but you are stopped by the bone of her arm. You do cut, though, and in cutting, you shock. And this is a woman built out of impure water.
Mm-hmm.
The shock runs through her body, and she screams in pain before sliding away as if as if ice skating. And then you realize that is exactly what she is doing. Virix has frozen the ground beneath her. So, let me just knock some points off of her health.
He's running around barefoot. This is not going to be nice.
Yeah, you're going to take a -1 to grace so long as you are on the ground.
I'm going to try to get back in the air.
Yeah. So, Virix moves from touching the ground to then swing around towards Thome and raises some plants to try to bind him. I'm going to leave it up to Thome to decide how he's going to try to evade that or stop that.
Thome, in his state, is just going to look at her and just get out of my way. As the vines go, he goes to just like push out, as they get tight around him, he just wants to just muscle break all of them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, roll might.
If this fails, I suck.
Yeah. Let's see now. I think this would be... Well, she just pushed out a lot of power, so I think she might take a couple of minuses to this.
Okay.
So, Otto, what was the check of your skill roll? What was the amount?
Muted. I am 7, including divine.
Jeez, nice.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a success and a boost. Now you haven't just been sitting down here, like not bothering to keep track of your comrades. The moment that you heard about this conflict, you had previously built at least a few drones just to monitor the situation of the city, and you brought those with you. You send one of those out to keep an eye on the situation from above, from a distance, and you witness Minora there. So you know that at least she is not going to try to break in underground right now.
Okay.
Are you still going to maintain vigil under Fort Knox?
I'm going to tell them to stay vigil, everyone to stay vigilant, and report anything suspicious that they see, and let me know ASAP when I come back.
Mm-hmm.
As I then go. I'm taking a bag with me, and I'm going to take at least 5 pipes, like metal pipes.
Okay, you got it.
Railgun ammo.
I think they'll be really fun to electrocute.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you head up to the surface, and you are on your way to join the fight in some capacity. Don't have to be close to it, but, you know. Alrighty then. So, Thome, what was...
5 with divine.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't... Silly me. I missed one. Okay. You're lucky. That is exactly what happens. You step forward as the vines attempt to take on like any part of your body really, and you just keep walking. They get torn off as they attempt to stop you. And Virix figures as she turns and runs to join Minora. They're going to have a few seconds of hesitation. Thome, Nasa, what do you do?
Skyfall.
So was
Oh,
that
great!
listed?
I'm in the area.
Yeah.
It's an AoE. And they're next to each other.
I'm also right there in metal armor.
Oh, you're not right next to me, though. Or you're not right next to them.
She just ran away from me, so I'm gonna be on her.
Yeah, I
Well, never
assume
mind.
that Thome is going to approach right now.
Yeah.
In that case.
I mean, if she's just like seeing red, skyfall, then that's what she does, even if it hits me.
Mm-hmm.
You have a magic sword that negates magic, right?
He might be able
Well,
to
you can't
block
be
it.
hit.
He might be able to block it, but him, like, his sword isn't just like a full-on negates everything to do with magic around him. The sword itself negates magic. He has to concentrate on it to expand that area. So he has to know to block something if he's going to be able to block it. Now, it's possible for him to block that, but he would basically have the choice between blocking your attack and making an attack of his own.
Yeah.
How mad would you be at me if I did that now? Because I think that's what she would
I
do
am
right
the one
now.
who just told you to do that if that's in character.
Fair enough. It is very in character. She's if she could see, she'd see red. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna Skyfall right now.
I mean, she's
Okay.
just never God move she wants to see.
So there's two of them though.
Yeah.
She can only hit one.
It is a single target ability.
Yeah. And I can't risk Virix getting in the fucking way of me striking Minora with that.
Mm-hmm. So, you call down the sky. Now, my question for Thome: if you feel the crackling thunder on its way, are you going to go for self-preservation, or are you going to continue pursuit?
I'm gonna say that Nace is gonna make it very obvious she's about to do a big attack.
You know that makes it obvious for them too, right?
Yeah, but directed at them. I'd like to see them fucking dodge this. No, don't fucking smirk at me like that, Basil.
I mean, when you telegraph something, it's easier to dodge.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's probably going to pivot to defending himself instead of attacking.
Okay, then go ahead and roll might. Nasa, you go ahead and roll your spirit, plus the revenge thing, plus the Minora thing.
Okay, so spirit is 6 plus a weeps plus a seeking revenge and my divine dice.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so 6 for my spirit, 1 for weeps, 1 for seeking revenge, 1 for divine. That's it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. So as the two of them get closer together, the sky darkens again as she says, "Minora, you finally show your face. Feel the wrath of the sky upon you." And then okay, dice, please, 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 don't fuck me right now.
Brother, you gotta do the fun and cool RP stuff after you succeed a roll.
Shut up.
Nah. You say it all before. Don't let them know you're hesitating.
Yeah.
Wait, that was an
Okay, that's 4 failures. The divine dice failed. That's
Ooh,
4
that's a real bad.
successes. I have 4 successes, but my divine dice failed.
Oh, yeah, that would have been added. Okay.
Uh,
And what do you have, Thumb?
2, 4, 6, 8. 8 with divine success.
Okay.
Damn!
8 with divines. You're fine.
So you say that, Nasa, and you call down the lightning.
Mm-hmm. She's
But-
becoming much less justice and much more vengeance right now.
Yeah. As the unfortunately, Thome made a good point. When telegraphing a move, you make it easier to dodge. The lightning races down, and it lands several milliseconds after Virix and Minora have both skidded out of its path. Thome, however, took it head on. Thome, I want you to tell me how you use this lightning to your advantage.
As it's coming down, he just stares at it in that apathetic expression he's had this whole fight. And then right before it hits, he lifts his sword up, so it just slams into the blade. Then he grips the blade with both hands, and the blade electrifies, growing in all dimensions several times. As out loud he proclaims, "You stand in my domain, as everything a king sees is his."
Okay. Who you gonna swing that at?
Everyone.
Oh!
Oh.
It hits,
Wait, what?
he then just big AoE swing again.
Okay.
Wait. Uh-oh. Wait.
Nasa, I'm gonna need you
Yeah.
to roll Grace. This is against Thome, so you don't get the extra revenge shit.
You know what? I deserve this.
As he does it, he yells, what's his name? Caridon? That's the guy who stabbed me?
Caridon.
Caridon. He yells, because the lightning bolt almost hit him, "I won't fall for the same trick again, Caridon." As he swings against everyone.
Yep.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay, so 7 from Grace. Can I throw in my flush step?
Sure.
Okay. I assume I don't get to use my divine dice then. Please, foam.
Yeah, I think in this particular case, Thome is the one holding divine power here.
Yeah. All right. Holy shit! Oh, come on! Why? Why?
I was so excited I was hyped for a moment.
What do you mean?
Because you went, "Holy shit," and I went, "Yeah," and then you yelled, "Oh, come on," so it was a very big roller coaster.
Yikes.
I don't think you hit me, but I'm sad that my big almost everything is a success was on my fucking dodge against you. I'm a little frustrated.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I got 6 successes.
Okay.
Oh, should I roll the swing on people, or are you going to use the roll I just did? This was technically a boost. Actually, no, it was an action.
Well,
never mind.
I'm gonna say you swing on people, because if I use the roll that you just did, you're not gonna hit anyone.
I got an 8.
I know.
Yikes! All right. Let's see here. Might. Not that. Definitely that. I don't think I have anything else to go towards this.
I think in this
Oh,
specific
that's pointless, though.
situation, I'm gonna allow you to keep the die that Minora would remove.
Oh,
Because this is a more impassioned sort of situation. I don't know if you're really thinking about specific people. Also, you mentioned the
he's
name
not.
Karadin, which is your bane. So those kind of
yeah,
cancel
that
out.
guy. All right, I'll roll divine dice last. Okay, so far so good, or so bad technically. All right, never mind. It's completely equaled out. I have a lot of dice. I'm really sorry it takes you so long to roll.
All good.
Okay, that is. I don't know. I'm counting fight failures like that matters. 2, 4. That is 6 successes with a divine.
So is the divine part of the 6 successes, or is it added to it?
Yes.
Okay, part of the 6. You said you got 6 successes, right, Vern? Nasa?
Si, senor. Sorry, Grandma was knocking at my door.
Oh, no worries. Was the divine dice part of that?
No, you told me not to roll a divine
You're
dice.
right. I forgot. Thank you.
Am I about to get hit?
Wait.
Oh, I'm about to get hit.
It's 7.
7? Okay.
Yep. One of these is a 4.
Okay. You're gonna take 1 damage, Nasa. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Virix and Minora, on the other hand, are taking a bit more. Um, Okay. Yeah. You swing this massive electrical sword in all directions. Nasa is just a split second too late to avoid any damage. But what she suffers is minimal. It's like a graze on her left calf. Virix is once again bisected from
Good.
the abdomen upwards. And as soon as the blade passes out from under her, her legs regrow. Minora attempts to catch your sword and feels the lightning race through her again as she shouts, "I'm not that little girl anymore!" But she is still not strong enough to stop your blade, as she is forced to duck at the last second and lose her left arm, which flies into the air and thuds to the ground. It does not regenerate. The battle stands for a moment as everyone absorbs what just happened, your sword regressing back to its natural state. Do you say anything at this moment, though?
Dome puts his hand, his non-dominant hand into the air. I'm going to offer this one more time. Surrender. Lay down your arms, and we can discuss how I will handle you. Otherwise, he then places his hand on the blade as he begins lowering into a completely different stance. I will make it so. No, there is not even a remnant of your divine spark. No magic that persists within your body will leave these grounds. These are your only 2 options.
I'm going to need you to roll Aura. And I want to ask for clarification. Are you including Nasa as one of the people you are talking to?
I'm gonna roll a die to see if I'm processing. It's a 1. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So, roll Aura.
Not that high.
Nasa, I'm going to ask you if you have literally any intention at all whatsoever of considering allowing Minora to live.
That is a fantastic question.
You know that if you attack at this moment, for the time being, Thome will be your enemy.
Can I tell that Thome isn't in his right mind and that he doesn't see me as Nasa anymore?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say roll aura for it.
There are some context clues, but I don't know if you know him well enough to understand those.
Yeah, you guys haven't been around each other for that long and haven't had
God
many
fucking
conversations.
damn it, son of a bitch. Fucking
Yeah.
god,
This.
fuck. Alright, one, two, three. I don't have time. I'll be right back. God, son of a bitch.
Okay.
I agree.
Then we're gonna go ahead and hit a break while I consider how these other characters are gonna respond. Before we go to break, Thome, what did you roll for your aura? So I can write it down.
4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have. Actually,
I
we
would
got a
say-
battle work. Would honor a battle work for this?
I think honor would
I'll
work
offer-
for that.
Oh,
You are
let's
giving
go.
your
Alright,
opponents a
5.
chance to surrender. That's pretty honorable.
5 with the
5 with the divine?
divine.
Okay.
Ooh.
So we're gonna go to break for just a few minutes while we get everything for that sorted. And we'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about the wait, everyone.
Hello. I'm so sorry.
So, the last thing that Thomes said was either lay down your arm so I can decide what to do with you, or I believe it was something to the effect of, I will make sure no remnant of your essence is left behind. And that was a blanket statement to everyone around him, including Nasa. Nasa, you have a verbal response.
I do. So Mesa turns to him, still crackling with electric energy. Her own electric energy, because it gets shot back at her. And she says, "Oh, now we're offering surrender to them. What happened? What about the situation with Durais?"
They were offered surrender. They then shot a nuclear blast. Or did you forget?
Didn't you already offer her surrender? And she attacked anyways?
Yes. And that's why I said, this is the last time I will say it. The last time I will offer either of these two any mercy.
Oh man, I seem to have misplaced one of my dice. Oh well. While they are talking, oh, here it is. Otto. Wait, Otto, are you? I'm sorry. I spoke up before knowing if you were present.
I don't think they're back yet.
Okay, no worries.
not.
Then we'll continue that conversation.
So fuck. What did Dome say? That this is
That
their
this
last
was their
chance?
last chance. That's why he clarified this is their last chance.
I'm trying to think of how Nasa's responding right now.
I will say that these words have Minora visibly shaking with an equal amount of fear and rage. Virix, on the other hand, is contemplative.
I will also mention that because of Eric's influence, Nasa can barely see right now. She has no idea that's happening.
So not anymore. I told you before that you regained control of your wind the moment that you forced her into a geode to reform. Like that, she had to focus every ounce of her magic to do that.
Okay. Okay, so she can see everything again.
Yes.
Except for because magic sword.
Mm-hmm.
She grips the lightning bolt. It shakes. The clouds are full of thunder and light. And then she throws her lightning bolt into the ground and says, "Fine. Let's hear what they have to say, shall we?"
Otto, please tell me you're back.
They're on their way.
Okay.
Their little feet are scurrying.
All right. Cool. So, when you get here, you have reached a vantage point from Fort Knox. You have a line of sight on this area. You are able to see Nasa throwing her lightning bolt to the ground. You are not able to hear this conversation. You see Thome's new stance, his deadly serious expression, Minora shaking, and Virix with fingers outstretched to the ground in a very peculiar manner. What do you do?
Tell me about the last person again.
Virix, the one who withers, has her fingers outstretched. Her hands are by her side as this conversation, people's mouths are moving, you can't hear it. As this conversation is happening, her hands are by her side, but her fingers are outstretched towards the ground in a peculiar manner.
Oh, fuck. Do I see anything unnaturally moving?
Not from your vantage point.
Shit. Well, I don't know what the fuck's happening in this conversation. Pipe is loaded in, and I'm gonna shoot her.
Okay,
I don't care what she's doing.
roll grace.
Well, there went that.
I don't know what's happening.
Well,
That's fair enough.
I'm going to request to do a thing. I don't think Otto would be the one that I would ask to roll against, but
Do
I
I have
want to
divine
use
on
my
this?
battle sense.
I'm sorry, what was that, Otto?
Do I have divine dice on this?
Yes,
'Cause
you are
my-
using your own invention.
Fuck.
Um,
You mean I missed it?
Thome, I implore you to reconsider. Because
Alright, let's roll logic.
your battle sense, Otto's shot, is not what it's pointing you toward.
Then I will not do what I asked to do. She answered for herself then.
Yep. All right.
5 including divine die.
5 including divine. Okay. She would definitely.
I got every dice as a success. Yay!
Nice.
Oh, nice.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Rolls a 1, immediately dies. Second god to be taken out by a shoe.
You say a shoe?
that's.
Yeah.
It's not what happens.
I figured.
Okay. Oh, this is rough. She rolled full successes for every one of her dice as well.
Fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
You all watch as a spike comes flying faster than the lightning bolts towards Virix. Thome, this happens at the exact instant you feel something rustle beneath your feet. And Virix brings her hands up, her fingers outstretched, the right pressing out towards the spike before it solidifies in ice, and the spike crushes like a tin can against her palm. Well, the metal thuds to the ground. You have my answer.
Here, far away in the distance, super far away. That's bullshit.
Oh man. The good news is that was a slip, so you stopped the attack against Thome.
That's nice.
Now I need to roll something for Minora. I'm gonna bring attention to this one, actually. So, occasionally, with my games, I will bring up situations where I legitimately have no idea how a character is going to respond, how the situation is going to play out. It is a straight 50-50 when that happens. I bring out the Fate dice. This little guy belongs to Minora. If it lands on a 1 to a 3, she's going to side with Virix. If it lands on a 4 to a 6, she's going to be too distraught to know what to do. And therefore she will do nothing.
Shitting my pants.
Minora watches Virix solidify and watches her charge Thome. Just watches. Thome, what is your response?
He's going to dash towards her, and it doesn't matter where the sword can find purchase. He wants to just stab. And
Okay.
then, if he can, hold her. If he has to get hit for this, he is fine to get hit for this.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay.
Berserker. Time.
So go ahead and roll might. Would that be broken? I don't think that's broken. So this is how I'm gonna rule this. You are simultaneously attacking and defending. If you get more successes than her, what you want to have happen happens. But you will still take the damage from her successes.
Fair enough.
If you roll below, you will take the subtracted damage as if you were the only one hit.
Okay. That's might. I'm gonna do battle sense because I'm also defending.
Mm-hmm.
Magic sword because it's the entire thing I'm trying to use here.
Yep.
Because I'm defending, can I call in my armor and my armor
Sure.
to help mitigate the damage? Awesome.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Even. Can I use my trait determined?
Yes.
Because I'm pushing head for
Definitely.
Fantastic. Okay. I don't think there's any more bullshit I can pull off of this. Only 13 dice. That's it. Okay, we're looking. Oh. I have D&D tomorrow. Please don't do this. Don't take all the good rolls. Oh, wait, that's a 1. Okay. Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
11 successes with success on the divine die. I failed the. I rolled a success on everything but 2 of them.
I don't think I've heard one of us getting that high.
I mean,
have
oh no.
a very important question.
Yeah.
What is your health at right now?
10. That's the max. That's my max.
Yeah, it is.
Yikes.
So, Thome,
Yeah.
you ready your sword and charge. Every battle you have ever been in, every betrayal you have ever experienced, including the great betrayal, the very thing that has led you to this battle in the first place, the time you came from and the time you have found yourself in, every moment of your existence flows into this strike. And perhaps it is the God that you are that allows you to understand just what you end when your sword stabs into Virix's heart, and what threatens to die with you when her hand does the same to yours. You feel the benevolent gifts of an old woman given to a child, to a wandering horseman, to people lost and afraid, uncertain of their lives, but diligent, capable, kind. You see her gather a wandering army of dead souls that wish to secure the happiness of the living, defending against demons and their own nightmares. You see a little girl spit out a little girl spit out gold every time she speaks, just for doing an old woman's chores. A sack of gold formed from a horse flank that was delivered to a man who managed to outwit that old woman. You also see others who displayed jealousy, hatred, vanity, being punished in a variety of trickster sort of ways. No one killed, oddly enough. A different girl didn't want to do those chores and just wanted the reward and wound up spitting out toads every time she spoke. A man called out to the passing hunters up in the sky above, and all he got was a rotten horse carcass thrown down his chimney. Things of this nature. And then you watch as winters grow longer and the celebrations of them grow shorter, as the people of the world turn from thinking about staying indoors to avoid the cold to controlling the cold and the heat and the natural world as they know it, to controlling the woman that you were just fighting, chaining her down as if she is a tool to be used. And you feel her hatred. You feel her heart freeze over. And you are brought back to this moment as you watch Frau Holly, the mother of the frost, dissipate from existence. Minora is weeping harder than she has ever done before. And you see something shift in Frau Holly. The smile she had worn before was one of gleeful combat, a desire for an entertaining fight. But it wasn't malicious. It was the sort of smile you have when you have a really good sparring match. It was fun. This grin is different. Whatever you saw in her, she has seen of you. Ah. So that's how it is. Sister, God King, I will never see you again. But I will not leave you empty-handed. If you must keep them around, go forth and make them better men. Virix's face dissipates into nothingness. She rejoins everything. And as she leaves, as her hand vanishes, Thome, you find your heart completely exposed, but undamaged. For what better gift could one receive at Christmas than the gift of life? You fall to your knees as you just lost your heart for like a solid 5 seconds and have to breathe. Nasa, Minora is also down on her knees. She is weeping harder than you have ever seen her before. You know that Virix didn't just die. She ceased to exist.
Okay.
What do you do?
I think the storm clouds begin to part and fade. If we watch it, or as she feels Virix and her power over the winds fading away. I suppose there is no better justice than that. And she turns to Minora and walks towards her, picking up her lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Otto, I would say, given the changing nature of the situation, you're able to bring your drone closer. You can hear this, and you can respond on communicator. I'm sorry that this shit keeps going down when you're too far away to have like a full voice.
That's not really my area of expertise, so it's fine.
Unless Otto wants to interact right now, she's got some words to say.
Now speak your shit, girl.
She approaches Minora with a lightning bolt in her hand, and it changes back into the cloud scythe, but this time with electric like decals across it. And she brings it up and places it against her throat and says, Minora, listen well. From this moment on, you will thank Thome, be at his beck and call. And you will be grateful. I am no longer a goddess of vengeance. And throw her scythe into the air before turning to walk away.
I want you to roll aura for me.
Do I get to have a +1 against her because I have a Bane against her?
Sure.
Do I get to have a Divine Dice? Probably not.
Actually, the way you are acting right now is very just. So sure.
Yay! Oh, that's a lot. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Wait, how many drones do I have?
I'm gonna say 4.
Okay. Do you think 3 of them could carry though?
No.
Hmm.
I am in full plate armor and I'm a whole ass man.
But you
Yeah,
also
I
have a
know.
unicorn. You should be fine.
You also
Yeah.
have a unicorn.
I'll be fine.
I will say that Nasa is walking towards them.
'Kay.
So that's 4 successes plus my divine dice.
That's enough. Yeah. Minora looks up, but doesn't speak. She just keeps crying.
Yeah, she has no remorse for her.
Mm-hmm.
Obi, I will throw you. I swear to God.
So you walk towards Thumb.
Yeah.
And what happens?
Sorry, I'm just wrangling child.
Is Thome's still conscious, right? I'm just
Yeah.
not in
You
any
have like
sort of
1
great condition.
HP.
Yeah.
You are still conscious. You're just reeling.
Yeah. I mean my entire she ripped open my chest. So
Yep.
Nasa approaches Thome and stands over him, leaning forward a bit. Are you all right?
he looks up at you, still with that apathetic expression, as the crown on his head begins dwindling, going to like the small one he usually has, as like the light in his eyes fully comes back as he sighs. I mean, no. I don't like doing what I just did. I don't like who that man is.
Let's fucking go! Sorry.
As Otto comes in, screaming, "Let's fucking go!"
No, watching Jordan rip the sheet.
Yeah.
That's right, because Rix is dead. Nasa will offer her hand to him.
He shakes his head and just kind of like falls back to like fully sit on the ground instead of like his odd position first, and just exhales. I think I just want to rest right here for a moment.
All right then. And she
feel-
stands back to her full height then.
Feel like we have a lot to discuss.
I can wait.
That's an understatement.
We have to discuss something before we get back, at least. It'll seem like a small matter, considering what happened here today. He then whistles for his steed to come pick him up.
Elenia trots from around like a rock or something to stay sheltered, and comes over, hitches her horn on like a piece of your belt or something, and just yeets you over her shoulder and onto her saddle.
As she does that, he inhales as he closes his eyes, and I'm gonna heal.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 3d6.
Oh, okay.
You have 3 following. Even if that's not how the book says it works, I'm gonna say that's how it works.
I see.
I'm saying it works.
3, 4, 5 HP. Let's go. We're at 6. That's so much better than 1.
All right.
Yeah,
Dope.
baby.
He then has her clop over to Minora.
Mm-hmm.
He stares down at her for a long moment. Let's go.
While you are staring, you watch as The entirety of Minora's body is some shade of blue. Her skin is a darker, but not like ocean blue, more of a like a deep river or lake. Um, her clothing, for lack of a better word, takes on that ocean blue as if it is the night sky. Um, Her hair is the lightest of all, like a freshwater spring. You watch as that hair begins to shift to gold. And you remember what Frau Holly said in her last moments. She didn't just give you a gift, and most of her gifts were gold. You watch as Minora's hair shifts, and so do her tears. A sorrow so deep, it shines. She stands up, no longer that towering form, now one of equal height to Nasa, as she turns to look at you. With eyes that do not bear regret nor reproach. I will not dwell within the humans. Or rather, I will not dwell with the humans. But I will await your sentence. There is something natural in that. And she'll follow, but not as far as Fort Knox itself. Not within the walls.
We can keep her close by, make a little hut.
I'm gonna say, do I need to make a little pond? Like dig a little pond outside for her?
I want to be clear that she is following to await your sentence.
Yes,
She's not planning to stick around.
I'm aware. After the... Yeah, I have to try to convince her of that. I know it's going to be a no, but he has to try. Right now, my heart's out, so
Yeah. So, well, you focus on like healing. You're able to get like some patching done just with your own godlike regeneration abilities. You definitely don't have like flesh over that. It's like bone. You have your rib cage. That's about it. So you head back over there, and upon your return, you find the fort like not exactly in disarray, just more like people kind of ogling the situation. You thank your lucky stars that the people of the United States decided to stay underground for their own safety and are busy keeping track of the holes or like the potential leaks down there that Otto has since briefed you on. Otto, do you go down to meet them?
Yeesh.
Okay. Yeah, you go down and head past the gates of Fort Knox to meet up with your comrades and Minora. You were not expecting to see a golden-haired, golden-tiered woman, but that is what you find. She gives you a kind of like stern nod and says, I wondered who blocked off my tunnel.
No, you didn't make it easy.
Sorrow is never easy. You just have to bear it.
I agree.
She kind of nods to Thome and says, I don't suppose you are a conventional doctor.
Sadly, I'm not. If he was robotic like me, then maybe, but no. Now it's time.
No, just the worst attempt at trying to put a smile on his face because his chest is literally bleeding, and puts a thumbs up and goes, "I'll be fine. I've suffered worse," and
Put
then
your arm
coughs
down.
and spits out blood. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, man.
oh,
Yeah. So.
So what happened?
Oh.
I'm talking to
lot.
Minora.
Oh shit! Ignore me.
Talking to
So when
Minora?
did you stop? Yeah, because I didn't hear any conversation happening at all.
Right.
I don't know why she's here.
Yeah. I was given an ultimatum. And unfortunately, even with the state that he's in right now, either he could make good on it or Nasa could. And if she couldn't, you could finish the job. I know when I'm beaten. And I'm not as prideful as my siblings to think that I can avoid the inevitable. Certainly.
Raise his eyebrow at siblings.
Oh, you're right. Change is inevitable, isn't it?
As much as any wave or rapid.
Feels like every day the world is changing. And from what I'm looking at it, and on our work, it's changing for the better. Maybe soon you'll start changing for the better too.
What?
And then I'll turn and to go care for Zoe.
Okay. She is going to regard you three. What do you see in them?
I see a chance.
Honor, love, an incredible potential to grow. That means darkness too, but he laughed a little as she said, as we both know, as we saw in our own pantheon, there's always a bad egg or two. And with so many, it's bound to be more. I'm hoping they just need a little more guidance. They can be better. They know it. And I think that's what frightens them.
She is actually going to turn directly to Nasa. And what of the scales of justice? How do they weigh this race?
She refuses to turn in the direction of Minora, but says they have already weighed in their favor.
She turns away. Actually, no. She grins and steps away from you, all of you. Then let them weigh on me. If you speak truth, and my judgment is found guilty, then not only will you have already passed your sentence, but you will be ever more assured of your path. She just stretches out her arms, waiting for Nasa to bring out the scales.
She is. Her hands like ball into fists at her side, and her head turns towards Thome. But she doesn't wait for Thome to give an answer before she summons her scales and turns to Minora. Fine. Minora, be judged.
You see her past. Everything Minora has been. You watch her days in the Gaian Pantheon as a small freshwater spring brings comfort and peace to so many, everyone that approaches. Until that spring gains life, a face, a body. People come to this place to wash away their sorrows and fears, their grievances and gripes, to pull the stress from their bodies and let it all wash out. And so the spring bears those feelings, and it bears it with pride. Humans, we want to live happily, contentedly, freely. And yet, so often do we forget how pivotal it is to feel our sadness. To not judge it as something negative, something to be avoided, but merely accept it as a part of who we are. Minora made the mistake of taking our interpretation of sadness at face value, believing it to be something humanity would be better without. So she took it, as much of it as she could. And for that reason, she weeps. She will never stop weeping. She has grown to love sadness, to appreciate it, to find it cathartic. The constant release she feels cannot be properly described. So she doesn't try. But every time that man comes by and never bathes in her waters, never once approaches, she feels something between a confusion and an appreciation. And so eventually she asks, "You see combat so regularly, and you treat so many people justly, without provoke, without reason. Surely these things must be stressful for you. Why do you not pass your stress? Why do you not seek my comfort?" Thome, how did you answer Minora back then?
Probably, like, without even like a hesitation, he would smile because their pain and their suffering, their experience, and their honor. Something I have to accept as well. Besides, you can't hold all the burden.
From then on, Minora considered Thome a friend. She was never part of his inner circle. She never had the gumption to lead. But sometimes he would ask for advice, and she would happily give it. She wasn't sure it was any good, but when is anyone sure of what they're saying? She also met a different man. A man cloaked in shadow. A man who never gave a genuine smile. A man with a sword made of molten metal that took whatever shape he desired. A weapon that only one person could ever block. He also refused to bathe, to share his burden. She asked him the same question, and he responded, "You think I feel sorrow for what I've done? You misunderstand, Minora. I fight to win, and victory brings glory. I see no reason to lose the joy that comes in a good, dirty brawl." Caridin the Capable. He who would cut down any man, woman, or child. He who saw no difference between a warrior and a civilian. He who desired the deceit and the greed that was born from humanity. He who loves humanity to every ounce, because he truly believes that there is nothing worth saving in them. And God, if that isn't exactly who he is to a T. Minora feared this man more than any other. But he knew that Thome would win out, that her land would stay neutral, that she would not have to come to blows. Until the day he came to seal her in the moon. And then the rest you already know. For millennia she was kept in that prison, forced to watch humanity forget her, forget the God King, forget Gaia, forget the world, and seek out their own precious desires, as if they were the only thing that ever mattered, as if their lifetimes were the only things that ever existed, as if she was an afterthought. When she felt the earth call out to her, she listened. And she found for the first time ever that she was ready to break her chains. To abandon the sorrows of others and live solely of her own. Sorry that she never joined Thome in a battle. Sorry that she never brought her burdens forward. Sorry that she never spared a thought for herself. And so sorry that she ever let that man's corruption seep into the fabric of this species. Because she can see a bit of him in every human. Something happens to your scales during this measurement. For the first time that you have ever measured a person or a god, the scales find balance. The sun and the moon disagree on this ruling. The moon finds her innocent. The sun finds her guilty. And they cannot reach an agreement. So they pass judgment on to you. Knowing what she has done to you, to humanity, and knowing what has been done to her, how do you judge Minora?
Cool motive, still murder. Anessa watches as Minora's life passes before her. And she takes it all in. So, to clarify, she only hates the humans because she sees the corruption in them from the guy who sealed Thom away, right?
Yep. That's pretty much the gist of it.
So then she gives one question to Minora to decide her fate. You blame the humans for someone else's faults. You fault the humans for someone else's corruption. Is it a lake's fault for becoming toxic when oil spills into it? Is it a child's fault for lashing out when the father bears their hand for no reason? Is it the Hollyberry's fault when the man takes a bite and perishes upon the toxin within?
It was never a
Are
question.
we all to suffer for someone else's sins?
It was never a question of fault. When a river has been poisoned, it must be purified, cleaned. When a man has bitten into a forbidden fruit, he must see a healer. I believed that by cleansing the greed of humanity, I could rid the toxin that he had bred into them.
Humanity met its punishment already, Minora. Why continue afterwards to force them to suffer?
She thinks and thinks. This is a question she didn't ask before. Because if I spoke out, then I would end up like you.
We could have worked together. I offered that to you.
He already imprisoned me once. You watch as the gold in Minora cracks. Her face stops, freezes. And you see a shadow grow from behind her. Loose
oh no.
lips sink ships. Minora. The shadow curls around her torso and reaches towards her neck.
Can I do anything to stop him?
Nasa. Your scales turn to guilt, but not on Minora.
Oh, I know.
You see no vision. You get no information besides your power enabling. And you know that you can choose to keep her from being harmed by it.
Okay. Anything else to that, or I just decide that she doesn't get hurt?
Whether or not you're able to stop him depends entirely on how high you roll. But the good news is you're not the only person there.
Okay, alright. Let me get my dice.
This is going to be the last roll of the session, everybody. Otto, Thome, if you can think of a way to stop Eisen from remote murdering Minora, lay it on me.
Well, I have a particularly neat stick.
You do have a neat stick.
That particularly removes the kind of remote murdering magic that exists.
That's correct.
I am unfortunately not directly next to her.
But Otto is directly next to you.
Yep, he's. Otto, you wanna load up a sword and your gun again?
Dude, don't fucking tempt me.
I mean, so he looks and like he goes to reach for the sword and winces, and then without saying anything, just like turns to Otto and begins like pushing the blade towards him.
Okay.
I did this last time because I didn't ask last time either.
Yep.
True.
Okay.
Is it like a tangible thing that can be grabbed or like attacked to save her?
You don't know. Eisen's shadow is kind of an enigma. You have no idea what his roots are.
What if I, without hesitation, use my flash step to get next to her to attempt to stop it, to pull her away from it, to separate them?
Let me be 100% clear. Your super move, the eye laser thing, will not harm Minora if you choose for it not to. There is more than one. There is more than one target in front of you.
Okay, awesome. God move time then.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm doing too. God move.
Okay. 2. 4.
Hey, guns are kind of an act of God.
6.
Otto would say so.
7. And then spirit. 2.
So Otto, you go ahead and roll a shot.
9.
Grace. But we're going to be using Thome's divine dice.
Can I use Seeking Revenge with or my solar scales?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll say so.
Awesome. 1 extra dice. How many is this? This is a lot.
Anything else I could do here?
What is this? 16 plus my
Can I
divine dice
use
max. So let me
my Can I pass off my boon? Because I'm trying to help her via auto.
Yes, actually. Go ahead and add another dice to it.
Alright, I got you, Otto. I believe in you, Otto.
Awesome, because nice. Yes, cool.
Okay.
And you said the divine was a success, right?
Sick.
I feel like I helped her roll the die for it.
5 successes, including the divine.
Jesus.
I
Nasa,
failed one of them, and then he gave
Let's
me the boon.
Nasa, what you got?
counting. So there's a lot of big number.
No worries.
So 1, 2,
Salty,
3,
did you add a
4,
+1?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah, that was the. I failed
9.
Because
one.
I'm giving you a plus off my boon.
Yes, he
Yeah,
already
I
brought
failed
it.
one of them.
Not just the divine. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you gave me the boon, and I rolled it as a success, so it's 4.
There's 6, 8 successes plus my divine dice, so 9.
Nice.
Okay. He reaches up, attempting to grab Minora's neck until Nasa, your blindfold burns away as light streams from your eyes.
And instead of my cloud scythe, it is my thunderbolt this time.
Yep. And the moon and the sun speak through you.
Oh boy.
They borrow your mouth for a little bit. They're going to apologize later.
That's okay. We're friends. Or homies.
We are no longer bound by your pact. Your silver tongue has seen the last of its days. And you will not take another from us. That light
I
begins...
imagine like all 3 of their voices talking together.
Yes, very much so. That light begins to burn the shadow away. And as they continue, we disagree on her judgment. But you will never be found innocent by the eyes of the stars, Caradin! As the shadow is burned away, you hear the softest squeak of, oops, guess it's out, before his presence is gone. Nasa, you fall back to the earth. Your blindfold slowly reforms. Minora clutches her throat, breathes. And we cut to black.
Would seem we share a common foe more so than I originally anticipated. No.
Oh, you have no idea how long I've been holding on to that.
You
Oh, man.
a person, my luscious DM.
Yep. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for joining, my dear audience. I hope that you enjoyed the unveiling of the villain for like probably the next 4 sessions. Whew. Yeah.
Christ.
Thank you to all of my wonderful players for sticking around. Sorry we went like about 10 minutes over, but I really wanted to give that scene its due. So, I'm not going to do my usual outro here because I know that people have things to do and places to be. But if any of you watching this right now are interested in checking out my friends, there are links down below in the description for each of them. There's also an extra link in there that I forgot to take out for someone that's going to be joining us soon. So you will find Salty Sweater at twitch.tv/thesaltysweater, and you will find Vern, who also did all of my break screens, my ending screens, my beginning screens, etc. Over at twitch.tv/Vernadera. We play tabletop games and stuff with each other. We recently played Repo. We might go back to that at some point. And you will find Nil in the void. So thank you all so much for joining. We will catch y'all hopefully next week. Enjoy your night. Peace. And boop.